everybody, it's Connie with SimplySimpleStamping.com. Thank you guys so much for joining me for my One Sheet Wonder designer purse. Guys, these were so much fun to make. There's just some simple scoring that you need to know so that you can create these really fun purses. And what I loved is that it was created with one sheet of 12 by 12 paper. And you can see you can choose either designer series paper or cardstock for this project. I'm very excited to share with you how to create this one. So I say we get started. Let's go. For the sake of today's video, I'm actually going to create this project with cardstock because I want you to be able to see the lines. Designer series paper can have a lot of pattern to it. You're going to need a couple other pieces of cardstock. I have a piece of basic black here, and that is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I have another piece of cardstock. This is 1 inch by 8 1/4. All right, let's go ahead and start with our cutting. We need to cut a little bit off of our 12 by 12, and we are actually going to cut off 3/4 of an inch on one side. We're going to rotate that cardstock just 90 degrees so we can go ahead and cut 3/4 off the other side. This is going to create a 11 by 1/4 by 11 1/4 square. But save these two pieces you cut off. We're actually going to be using these on the handle. That's what's going to make this a one sheet wonder. So we'll set these aside, and it's time to go ahead and do our scoring. I want to bring in a quick diagram just to make it easy. We are simply going to score at 3 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides, and we can do that here on our Stampin' trimmer. So I'm going to bring that in to 3 3/4. I want to remind you that cutting blade, get it out of your way. You don't want to accidentally cut. We'll score at 3 3/4, and we'll rotate that around, score at 3 3/4. Let's continue that on the remaining 2 sides. So you can see I have 9 equal squares that are 3 3/4 of an inch. I now want to bring in a ruler, and I'm going to work on these 4 corners. And let me bring in another diagram so that you can see. We're going to work on these 4 corners of our cardstock, and we're just going to score from the inside corner to the outside corner. And I'm going to do that with my ruler. So I'm just going to place my ruler here onto the cardstock. I'm going to line it up in that corner, line it up in the top corner, and give that a nice score line. We're going to repeat that on all 4 of our corners. All right, I have that scoring done. It's now time for my next diagram, and that's this one here. I would like you to make a tick mark on these 2 the middle inside squares, and we need a tick mark at 5 5/8 inch. I'm just going to do that with a pencil. Here are my tick marks. I'm now going to come back in. We're going to do that exact same ruler scoring measurement. So I'm going to go from that tick mark to this corner right here, and I'm going to make a triangle. So we'll go from this corner to the tick mark and the other corner to the tick mark. And let me go ahead and bring this in so you can see this is what we did. I'm now going to repeat that on the other side. And now it's time to do some folding. So I'm going to fold along the outside squares. Remember, we had those 9 outside squares. You can come in with your bone folder if you'd like. I will tell you, sometimes with designer paper, the bone folder might be a little too strong. So use your bone folder sparingly. Now, for these outside corners, we're going to work with those next. And I am simply just going to fold it in and gently fold it back. I know I'm at an odd angle for the camera, but I can come in and give that a crease. Let me show that to you one more time. Fold it in and fold it back. If you're having a hard time with those lines, you may need to make them a little bit deeper. Remember, you did just fold it with your bone folder. So if you need to go in and make those lines a little bit deeper, feel free to go in and do that. We now have those lines done. Let's flip our cardstock over, or designer paper, whichever you're using. And now we're simply going to get these 2 outside corners. These are the ones with the tick marks. And I just can't stress enough, just take your time when it comes to the folding. Don't force it. Let the paper kind of do what it wants to do, but you also tell it where to go. So we're just going to take it nice and slow when it comes to folding. And you can see, even my thick cardstock did quite well. Let me go ahead and flip this back around, and I want to show you how the purse is going to go together. And if you'll just kind of watch, you'll kind of see this magic happen. There we go. And there is the beginning of our purse. So you can see these two flaps fold in, these two flaps fold in. That one that we made there in the center is our center, is our kind of fold. What do we want to call that? The side view. There we go. So that is the base of our of our purse, and it's time to add the flap. So I'm going to come in with that 3 3/4 inch cardstock. Now I have this scored at 1 inch and 2 inch, so I'm just going to give this a quick fold. So here's my 1 inch and there's my 2 inches. I'm going to place tear and tape along this 1 inch panel. I'm going to place it up at the top and the top of the cardstock, and then I'll go ahead and put this right by the crease. And tear and tape is going to be nice and strong for this project. We need some really heavy duty adhesive. You could also use fast fuse if you'd like on this. I really enjoy my tear and tape on this one. So let's give that a nice press, and then I will remove the backing. I want to bring my purse back in. Notice where those two triangles are. They're off to the side. I want to attach this here at the top. And I do want to make sure when I adhere this, one, that I'm getting it centered in that spot. And then I also want to make sure I'm coming so that that fold can come over. I don't want to block it, if that makes sense. We'll give that a nice press. And now I'm going to set this aside while I work on the handle of my purse. So for that, I want to go ahead and bring in my strips. And you remember we had 2 of them. I want to use the one that is 12 inches by 1 inch. So this one that is 11 1/4, let's set that one off to the side. I'm now going to come in with the other piece. Remember I had you cut 1 inch by 8 1/4 inches. And what we want to do is we want to center this strip onto the other one. You notice it's got some length here on the side. That's fine. Do your best to line it up. You don't have to go measure it, but try to center it up as best you can. But that is going to adhere right on there. I'm going to do that with tear and tape as well. There we go. So you can see I have that adhered down. I'm now going to add some tear and tape right here to this remaining area. I'm going to go ahead and put it on both sides because this is going to be the handle and I want to make sure it stays on. But I want you to notice the tear and tape is only going on this colored area that's remaining. So we don't want it on the handle itself. We can now remove this backing. I'm going to bring my purse back in. And what I want to do is you notice that my handle and that 1 inch area, they're the same size. And you can see it's just going to attach right there. I can then fold it, all right? Now keep this nice and soft as we bring it around. We'll line up the handle on the other side. You can see they just line up nicely. Look at that. And now we can give this a nice press. Oh, look at our handle. All right, so now again, let me just kind of show you how it's starting to come together. There we go. All right, we need a way to close this, so let's talk about a closure. Whoever invented Velcro, God bless you. I love Velcro. So I have these little Velcro dots. These I just found at the sewing section. You can get these anywhere. I mean, even just a lot of times the grocery store even sells them. I cut it in half because I just needed a little piece. And these were, I'm gonna guess that's probably a 3/4 inch circle, and I needed it a little bit smaller. So I'm cutting mine in half. By the way, that is both pieces that's there. So what I wanna do is I'm gonna peel off the backing of just one side of my Velcro, and I'm gonna attach that right here in the center of the flap. Now, let's put our box together. When you put this together, it's not about squeezing this tight and bringing this down. The box, I think you can see, it sits in this 1 inch area. So as you put this together and you let that Velcro dot do its work, make sure you haven't squoze that together and tried to press it down, or your purse is well, crooked. So let's make sure we keep that nice and loose. I'm going to peel off this other backing. As I said, keeping it nice and loose. I want to make sure the sides are lining up where they should. When you're happy with it, and I'm happy with it, we can give that Velcro a press. And what's nice is now I have a nice little closure for my designer purse. When it comes to decorating, have some fun, get creative. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video today. I hope that you enjoyed it. Now, I know that some of you like to take it a little bit slower. I know there was a lot in there, and maybe you prefer a written tutorial, or maybe you'd like those diagrams that you saw me use in the video. Well, guess what? I have a complete 11-page PDF tutorial for you that you could download and keep forever. You're gonna have this, it's gonna be able to walk you through everything step by step. No more questioning, no more stopping videos. Everything you need is right here. I've made those diagrams nice and big, easy for you to see, and easy for you to recreate the project. Now, if you'd like to order this tutorial, you can head over to simplysimplestamping.com. Just look in the blue menu bar for Let's Get Creative Videos and Tutorials. You're going to see the tutorial there called the One Sheet Wonder Designer Purse. You can order it right there simply through PayPal. Easy peasy, double cheesy. So be sure to check that out. Now, if you'd like to see any additional photos of my purses, or maybe you just need to catch those measurements one more time, head over to simplysimplestamping.com and look for the February 21st, 2018 blog post. That's where I'm going to have everything about today's video posted for you. So I hope that you'll check it out. Guys, thanks so much for being a part of my video. I sure do appreciate it. Have a fabulous day, my friends. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.